Welcome dear students to my virtual tutorial class. Today's class is meant for the 5th semester CBCS students. The paper I am dealing with today is women's writing, and the text we are concerned with is the story Draupadi by Mahasweta Devi. And I have titled this class as Draupadi, an introduction. So it's an introductory class that will condition you, that will warm you up towards going deeper into the story, delving deep into the story. So keeping with the theme of the story, we can say it's a preliminary investigation. We are investigating so as to get a confession out of the story, what the story is about. So that's what today's class is. So as part of the introduction, first of all, let's deal with the title itself. So the title of the story is Draupadi, and immediately we can be pardoned for linking with it with our epic Draupadi of the Mahabharata. And we can of course think about her disrobing. That's the epic Draupadi, and we shall have to find out what's the connection between that epic Draupadi and our Draupadi of this realistic story of Mahasweta Devi. So as far as character is concerned, to start with, the main character of the story is Draupadi, a namesake of the Mahabharata Draupadi. We shall have to find out what the connections are, or if at all there are any connections. Then this Draupadi, of course, is a tribal woman. She is a tribal revolutionary. That's what our main character is. Pitted against her is the system, the zamindars, the landlords, the exploitative system, and also the state, the military, the security forces. Those are the forces against her. And of course, the patriarchy, the gendered nature of our society, the use of rape and violence and molestation as weapon against women. Those are the opposing forces to our lady Draupadi. Symbolize that opposition, the antagonist to our heroine, is symbolized by the Senanayak, the leader, the commander of the armed forces or the security forces, who are trying to extract a confession out of Draupadi and trying to get into her comrades through her. So that's the protagonist-antagonist sort of scenario. That's the conflict. It's the peasants' revolt or the Naxal movement of the 1970s. That is the background of this story. So the setting is Bengal and the adjacent areas. So character, setting, main conflict, we have got it. Then the theme or themes. We have already got an idea of what the themes are. Yes, inequalities in the society, rebellion, social justice, patriarchy, and then the unbeatable spirit of this tribal woman, Draupadi. And of course, the standard operating procedures of the state when it goes against the rebels, the kind of counter violence imposed upon the rebels by the state, by the security forces. Those are the themes of the story. Of course, the highlight of the story is the character of Draupadi herself. Now, let's go to the plot. So after a brief foray into character, setting, the time as well as the place, the main themes, now let's go to the plot and structure. This plot and structure analysis will actually tell us a lot about the story, what the story is about. Now this story, Draupadi, is divided into 3 parts. In the first part, we are introduced to the character Draupadi through two policemen, uniformed policemen, and a police dossier. We are told that Draupadi is someone who is wanted by the police, a very notorious criminal. That kind of a presentation is made at the very beginning of Draupadi. And there is a mismatch, we are told, between the name Draupadi and the tribal Santhal character. The name does not fit her. And then we come to know that this epic name was given to her by her upper caste mistress, the woman in whose home Draupadi's mother was working while she was born, during the time she was born. So it is a name from the Indian epics given to a tribal child who has now grown up into a woman, which do not match actually. Their characters, temperaments do not match. Only thing that matches between the epic Draupadi and the Draupadi of our story, the Santhal woman, perhaps, is the color of their skin. And that is why the upper caste mistress gave her the name Draupadi. But their dialect, in their dialect, she is known, or she is called not Draupadi but Dobdi. So she is called Dobdi. So she and her fraternity, they find Draupadi unfamiliar. So they use the word Dobdi. That's what is convenient for them. So Draupadi is the central character. In the first part of the story, we are introduced to Dobdi or Draupadi, and we are told that she is a tribal rebel, revolutionary, part of that peasants' uprising, which started in Naxalbari and later spread to other areas against the exploitative landlords. That's what the character is, and she is wanted. She is someone who is active in that peasants' revolt. That's what we get to know in the first part of the story. Then in the second part of the story, we are told the chase, how Draupadi is hunted down by, in that what is called a particular Operation Bakuli. Operation Bakuli is launched primarily to hunt down, apprehend Dobdi and her husband Dulna Maji and Dobdi Mejan. These are the revolutionaries who are sought to be arrested by this military Operation Bakuli. Now Dobdi and her husband are accused of having killed the landlord Surja Sahu, who denied them water during the drought, and the peasants revolted against him and the landlord class, and the landlord was killed and his son was killed. And then the Operation Bakuli was launched, and Dobdi and her husband escaped. They were wanted. Dobdi was wanted mainly to extract a confession for her, so that through her the security personnel could go into the security agencies could go into her organization and break the organization. That's what the target was. Now that is the chase in the second part of the story. In the third part, we see Dobdi being apprehended. She has been apprehended, caught, but before being caught, she of course warned her comrades to escape. So in the meantime, her husband had been killed, and the security forces actually laid a trap for her. She would come to get her husband's body, and then they would catch her. But she did not fall into the trap, and ultimately she made certain mistakes, and she was caught. But before being caught, as I said, she warned her comrades so that they could escape. So in the third part, Draupadi is brought to the security camp, the army camp, and that is where the real story, the real conflict, the real antagonism begins. The Senanayak, the commandant, he has a talk with Draupadi, an preliminary interrogation. Draupadi does not reveal anything. And then the Senanayak leaves for his dinner, asking his soldiers to make her. So now that's an important phrase. He says, make her, do the needful. So this is the standard operating procedure of such operations. Though the Constitution guarantees certain rights, human rights, or rule of law, in actual operations, accidents happen, and those accidents are supported by certain standard operating procedures. One of them is this: the Senanayak asks his soldiers to make her, to make Draupadi. Actually, what it means is, this is ironical. Make her means they actually want to break her. They want to break her psychologically so that she confesses. So as an instrument of breaking her, what do they use? It's a very gendered instrument. See, they use rape. So the soldiers disrobe her, rape her repeatedly, a number of times. And when she, later on, she just passes out. She's unconscious. And when she gains consciousness, she feels as if she has been abandoned in the forest. But then she once again is raped by the soldiers. Then finally she is taken to the Senanayak and she is offered a white piece of cloth and also water. She rejects them. She confronts the Senanayak bare, naked. She refuses to be ashamed by being disrobed. She refuses to be ashamed and humiliated by being raped. She demands that she be countered. She doesn't know the English language. What she means by countered is that she would rather prefer to be encountered. So encounter in military operations. She would rather be countered, but that now assumes a different meaning altogether. The Senanayak, when he sees Draupadi bare, resistant, and unmoving, challenges him that counter me. I don't want you to cover me. You are not man. So the masculinity behind the raping and disrobing and molesting is totally disregarded by her. She refused to accept this. So the power of rape here dwindles. Who is scared now by this unexpected counter of the woman? The security personnel, the Senanayak, is threatened. He is pushed by the bare-breasted Draupadi, and he is afraid of this phenomenon, of this woman not considering her bareness to be a humiliation. She does not break. They tried to break her. She does not break. She does not call upon the gods to save her, just like the Draupadi of the epics did. The Draupadi of the epics, or epic, was also disrobed, but she was saved by Lord Krishna, a male. Here, this Draupadi of the tribal Santhal tribes, she is a rebel. She is questioning the system, the society. She is not here to accept the humiliation. She is not going to accept the shaming of her by these methods. She is not going to reveal. She is not going to confess. In this, the military, the system, the state, the oppressive society fails to counter her. That's what the story is in a nutshell. Of course, we'll have to go deeper into it. We'll have to connect Draupadi with our Draupadi. This is a subversive story, actually. The very idea of Draupadi is here subverted. Our Draupadi here is not that epic Draupadi who was saved by a man. She would rather not consider herself to be a victim. Rape or molestation or disrobing of her is not a threat to her. She does not consider her modesty to be uh, attacked by her. She is ready to face the Sananayak bare, naked. She is courageous enough. She is made of a different metal. Her spirit cannot be broken. Indomitable spirit. She says, counter me. That's what the story is. I hope this will be a good warming up for you. We'll go deeper into it in our brick and mortar classes as well. And also, if needed, another tutorial class this way, virtual. But I think I have given you a sort of an outline of the story. Main character Draupadi, what is the context, the Naxal revolt, the peasants' revolt against injustices, against the exploitations of the landlords. Then the setting, Bengal and adjacent states. Main character Draupadi, opposed to her, of course, the Senanayak. He is a symbol of the security apparatus, symbol of the state too, symbol of the oppressive society. Then the landlords, those are the opponents. Then plot, character, setting. Then plot, we said, plot and structure, 3 parts. Introduction to Draupadi, then the chase for her, the hunt for her, and finally her apprehension, and of course her resurgence. It is she who now scares the security person. So that is, as I said, a rough outline of the story. I hope this has helped you. So good luck.